Here's 5 jobs you can do with your CDL that doesn't require you driving a tractor trailer. The last time I gave you 15 reasons why you should still get your CDL. Now we're going to get into a deeper discussion with 5. We're just going to start with 5 on this video and move on to the rest. As usual, it's your girl Just Trucking It Tati, and I'm here to give you some more information, so let's get into it. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Tatiana, aka Just Trucking It, and I just wanted to do an updated video for you. The last time I dropped 15 reasons why you should still get your CDL, because I know there's a lot of people who they want to get their CDL. I see them in the comments all the time, and they're asking us truck drivers, is it still worth it? Due to my current situation after that termination, it gave me a chance with this free time that I had to start doing some research basically to see anything else I can get under my belt, whether it's a trade or other jobs that I can do to probably start something independently for myself. We've all seen the volatile market that we're in right now. We've all seen the changes, whether company or own operator. Right now, the trucker life, it's a lot, right? Like you're not sure where you're going. For some, and I'm just going to say maybe a 5%, but for majority of us, 95%, we're having doubts of how to move forward, or the industry just doesn't make us feel too stable these days, right? So I wanted to take it up on myself to just do some research for anyone that's probably wanting to get their CDL, but they're still kind of cautious. There are plenty of jobs that you can get into that doesn't require you to drive a tractor trailer, and having that CDL, whether Class B or Class A, but definitely remember Class A pretty much is above all. We're the top of the list pretty much, right? So with a Class A, it pretty much gives you a greater advantage when it comes to getting into other careers or other jobs that require driving. With that on your resume, experience, or just having your CDL license, that could help you put you at the front of the line, basically is what I'm saying. So the last time I mentioned 15, but I'm only going to discuss 5 of those today, and let's go over that list. So I have the movers, waste management, bus drivers, couriers, and firefighters. Now, before I start, I want to mention when I list these jobs, they're not traditional. It's non-traditional jobs that you probably wouldn't think of, right? Some are kind of well known, but some aren't. When I list these jobs, it's not to say that CDL A or B is the main requirement. It's basically jobs that would definitely choose you because you have that experience. And now, with that said, let's get into it because y'all know I love to talk. So let's move on. Okay, y'all. So the last time I mentioned movers, that was the first job that I looked into. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are aware, what moving a moving job entails. But additionally, there are certain types of moving that requires a larger vehicle. So therefore, they require a trailer, right? Me moving out of my 2-bedroom apartment, that can be done in a box truck, right? But there are some individuals who they live in large homes and they do require more. So moving is a potential option for you with your CDL. Maybe you just started and you don't want to put yourself out there to go over the road or even do regional. You probably still want to drive, but you want to be able to come home. So locally, you can find companies that would prefer to have a CDL driver Class A, Class B, right? It's not the main requirement, but there are companies who haul heavier when it comes to moving furniture or equipment or anything of that nature, moving stuff out of a particular location to a new one, right? So that would be a great thing to have on your resume trying to get a moving job, because clearly you're already used to driving heavy vehicles, specialized equipment, and also doing that state to state. So that really pretty much puts you at the front of the line when it comes to, applying for jobs like that. Now, I did make some notes here because I did do some research on each type. So for the movers, clearly a Class B can get you into becoming a mover and a specialized mover. And we're not talking about your basic movers here, right? So a Class B can get you into that. But like I said, a Class A is pretty much at the top of the list when it comes to CDL. So I'm just saying, if you have a Class A, then that's going to definitely trump all. If you have a Class B, you definitely can still work with that as well. Now, let's discuss another factor when it comes to moving. Moving is a physical job, right? For instance, let's focus on the touch freight, the touch freight jobs, aka, Dollar General, I should say aka Dollar General. I've done Dollar General before, so I know it's very strenuous, very labor intensive, very physical, right? So in terms of moving, that's one thing you have to look into, that is very physical. This will be a touch freight job. It's not going to be your light jobs. So that's one thing to remember. Now, clearly, if you have no moving experience, with all jobs, majority of jobs, they have to train you, right? So training is a must. So it's not a case where you're just gonna go in and be blind. If you have no experience, majority of these jobs that I'm gonna mention, they do train. So that's also a plus. Yes, you have driving experience, but there's other stuff that you have to also consider when it comes to moving, in terms of how to move, how to bend, how to be safe when it comes to lifting and things of that nature. Now, when it comes to the moving job, it wasn't difficult for me to find, because clearly you can go on Google or Indeed to look up jobs or companies that hire specifically for CDL drivers, because clearly you still have the movers who move people or companies, individuals, whatever it may be, from one state to the next. So that is an option, but you have your local movers who will also hire you, and that's what you're focusing on. Jobs that doesn't require you to have to drive a tractor trailer. So that is an option for you to do the box truck, but let's be real, you can still do the tractor trailer if you want to locally. So that's still two options for you. Now, having CDL experience, like I said earlier, it can maximize your chances of getting hired, but it can also maximize your earning potential, because clearly, when it comes to that, you're not pretty much restricted or worried too much about your weight, right? We're used to hauling heavy. So when it comes to that, that's something that you already have in terms of experience. I'm trying to see. When I looked up the moving in terms of the earning potential, it doesn't really give me an estimate of the earnings. But like I said, I'm only listing jobs that you can look into if you want to drive, but you don't want to go out of state, or you don't want to go over the road, and things of that nature. Now, let's move on to something more popular and something that I'm looking into myself. We can look into the world of waste management. Now, recently someone commented this on they left it on one of my videos, that I should look into waste management. And to be honest, I was already looking into waste management, because for a fact, I know that waste management is one of those careers where it's very stable. The benefits are really, really, really great. Now, when we think of waste management, we probably only think of the garbage truck side of it, right? But when I looked into it much deeper, there's also an area or division that requires tractor trailers, right? Now, I know I said earlier that we're focusing on jobs that doesn't require you driving tractor trailers, but I'm also throwing in additional information just to let you know that you can still do tractor trailer and stay within a certain area. You don't have to go over the road, but you also can choose to do the garbage truck if you want to, right? So that's just two options, just to make it more apparent that with your CDL, there's options. There's options to stay locally, and certain jobs that you probably wouldn't think you could do the tractor trailer in. But for waste management, there is the tractor trailer side of that. So I made a note here, as a CDL driver, waste management is a popular option. Waste management allows you the opportunity to have a more stable life. That's another thing. If you're considering going local, that's what you want. You want to get away from being over the road, living out of a truck. So waste management also creates an opportunity for you to have a more flexible and stable life. You're working, you're getting paid, you get to come home, see your family if you have a family, or you get to do normal things. On the weekend, you're off, you may want to chill with your friends or just do something fun. So it still creates a life where you do have a work-life balance, and that's a plus when it comes to, coming off the road as a truck driver, or just even just starting out your CDL career. Now, when I looked at the projected earnings for waste management, it's basically at 40 to 65,000. But let's be honest, we know when it comes to waste management in certain jobs, there's more overtime. There's a lot of overtime. So when I'm hearing 40 to 65,000, let's be real, guys. You have a lot of drivers coming out of CDL school right now, and they're legit in the 40,000, 50,000 mark. They're not making all that money that they thought they were going to make, especially if you started out with a mega carrier. So to me, this sounds like an even better opportunity. The fact that you can be within 40 to 65,000 and with overtime earn more, it sounds to me like you're already making OTR money. So what's the point of the sacrifice of not being able to come home when you can be home and still earn that the same amount, even better, when it comes to being in waste management? Sounds like a win to me, y'all. Now, the standard Class B, it's sufficient, but the same companies may require Class A depending on our specific endorsement, depending on operating certain vehicles. So that's why I always say, yes, the Class B is an option, but for me personally, if I'm going to go for my CDL, I'm just going to go for the top, right? I'm going to start at the top and then look at my options basically. So I never have to be like, okay, I have a Class B today, yeah, but I want to go down to drive. I want to go up to driving a truck, right? So I want to go to drive a truck right now and switch over from driving the buses. Now I have to go back to school and do a lot of stuff. If I just get my Class A done, then I'm at the top of the list when it comes to the classes, and then I can just go to any required, any field that I desire that requires a CDL, pretty much. Now, along with the stability of doing waste management or being in the waste management sector, you have to also think that the benefits are normally better. When it comes to your health benefits, probably your 401ks, things of that nature, the benefits are greater. So to me, it's pretty much a no-brainer, or I should say a win-win situation if you are able to start a career in waste management. So you can legit come out of school. I keep saying legit. You can come out of school right now and go apply to a waste management company and be able to get into that field. Now, clearly, no matter if you're on the road right now getting experience or if you don't have experience and you're just coming out of school, you can get into this career, because basically, no matter what, you're gonna have to do some kind of training. So it's nothing to go crazy about. You have to get trained regardless. So if you only have your CDL license, you have no driving experience over the road, it's still something that's going to put you at the front of the line, because guess what? In order to drive or test out for your CDL, you still had to be in that tractor trailer. For your Class A, you still had to be in that tractor trailer regardless. So to me, that is still some experience that you can say, I did this, I know how to do this, and so forth. Additionally, the biggest thing about the waste management industry is that it's recession proof. That's another thing. When you think about careers that is going to be super beneficial to you, right? You think about recession proof. When I was younger, I wanted to be so many things, right? Even my degree. When I went to school and started doing my degree, I didn't finish, let's just point it out. But when I did start college, I tried nursing. I couldn't do nursing anymore, because guess what? It was so much time, I had to devote to that, and I needed to work. So I found that the schedule was like really hectic for me. Nursing, great career. But after that, I started to go into business, graphic design, things of that nature. And if you look at the economy now when it comes to work or career wise, everything has changed. Those business degrees, marketing degrees, everything seems like it's lower value now. You're not getting the earnings that you once used to hear about in certain careers, right? One of the biggest things about being a part of the waste management industry is that it's pretty much recession proof, right? You need to have waste management taken care of. You have garbage every day. You have waste that needs to be cleared up. So in terms of this particular industry or career, it's something that is recession proof. And when you're choosing a career, that's one of the best things that you could ever look into or have. A job that's recession proof, and here's one for you. So if you're interested in looking into waste management, I would definitely say go for it. If you're thinking about getting your CDL, you can do more research to look into the waste management area to see how you could possibly use that CDL to better assist you in getting hired. Now, Our next job right here is one that's additionally is also popular. It's a bus driver, and we're not talking about. I could speak on school bus, but let's be real. You normally start at a school bus level in order to move to the city buses, the metro buses, public transports, or transit, right? So I won't mention the school bus because we know the school bus, the earnings can get pretty much iffy, and that's normally where you begin your driving experience in order to move forward and get better. We're going to focus on the public transit. Like I'm in PA, so therefore I'm talking about SEPTA. Yeah. So for the bus drivers, normally the requirement is class B, but like I said, this is about CDL. And if you already have your class A license, that means you already have a license that's going to get you into becoming a bus driver. There's a YouTuber on here. I think her name's I Am Cherish. I'll drop the information below just so you can check out her journey. She's a Class A CDL holder. She used to drive tractor trailers, and now she basically transitioned into driving the buses. And I think they're pretty much the travel buses. So she may go from state to state. I'm not sure. I don't want to lie on that, but she definitely transitioned from being a tractor trailer driver, and now she's in the class B, or let's say just the passenger bus driving area now. So that's one person you can look at to see how their journey is going in terms of transitioning from over the road truck driver to pretty much the passenger buses. Okay, so clearly, most of the information I'm gonna mention is just pretty much like self-explanatory, it's just common sense stuff. For the bus driving, for us with Class A, I have majority of my endorsements. I have the hazmat, I have tankers, and I have doubles and triples, and I always make sure I got my TWIC, which was important with my previous employer, but I don't have my passenger endorsement. So the P endorsement, which is something I told myself I'm gonna go ahead and get added to my license. So if you don't have the passenger endorsement, that's something that you would need to go back to the DMV and get the test done to have that added to your license. So that is a requirement. Now, along with every other career, you're gonna have to get training. So it doesn't matter if you don't have experience in these jobs. You're gonna have to get trained regardless. Now, what I can say in terms of people that I know that drives the transit buses, it's good earning. Honestly, guys, I've heard Class B drivers earning more. They're earning more than a lot of tractor trailer drivers for the simple fact that with these jobs, you're getting paid hourly. That's one thing. Two, you have a lot of overtime. You have a lot of overtime. So when you're looking into Class B transit buses, you have them in the 75,000 a year annually or higher. I'm pretty sure higher, because most of those jobs are based on seniority. So yes, you may start out at the lower end, but each year you're going up. Up. You have potential to earn more. So think about that. Like, you can have a Class B license and you're earning the same or more than a lot of tractor trailer Class A drivers. So that's why I'm saying this is an option for you. You don't have to focus on the fact that you need to go over the road or have a tractor trailer. Having your CDL, there will always be an option for you to work. So that was bus drivers. Let me just make sure I'm not missing out anything that I wanted to share. Pretty much discussed it all. Now, this one here, y'all, so number 4, courier service. If I'm going to be transparent, this is something that I'm very, 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 very interested in, right? The independent contractor side, that is. So with the courier service, I'm talking box trucks, cargo vans. Some people use their cars, but I'm not going to focus on that because that pretty much puts you more into a gig work situation. I'm talking the cargo vans, so sprinter vans, box trucks, right? You have a lot of courier drivers right now who are getting into the medical deliveries, the pharmaceutical deliveries, so medical equipment, things of that nature. And a lot of companies like LabCorp, Quest Diagnostics, a lot of them, right? They're signing up or they're hiring independent contractors to get these deliveries done. Now, based on what I've seen, I know there's a lot of people making great earnings because with these jobs, you're Monday to Friday, or you have so much potential to do overtime. That's really what it is. If you're able to get on a route that allows a lot of runs to come your way, that's even better. So routes or a company that's hiring within like a big city area like Philadelphia, in New York City, probably somewhere in Jersey, things like that, you have more opportunities to get a lot of contracts as an independent courier or independent contractor. Even if you want to say, let me start out with like companies like FedEx, UPS, Amazon, that's still an option because with your CDL, again, because you have that experience, they're already aware that you're used to following specific routes. You're used to having timely deliveries that you have to get done. Not only that, you're used to dealing with companies, a lot of companies for your drop offs and your pickups and things of that nature. So it only makes sense that, okay, if I have a company and I'm trying to hire the best of the best, I would definitely choose a CDL driver over someone who's just used to driving a car because we're just more prone to deal with certain stuff, especially if you're a CDL driver in a local area. If you have experience as a local driver, that pretty much stands out because you're already used to dealing with the BS that comes to driving in Philadelphia and New York City, Jersey. Don't get me started on Jersey, right? You already have a lot of experience that makes you stand out that most. So courier service right now, y'all, I'm really deeply looking into this. But one thing I'm gonna say, getting the cargo and the Sprinter vans to be an independent contractor, it's been hell. It's like everything is so inflated when it comes to the prices. So that's the biggest problem that I see in terms of becoming an independent contractor. It's getting the vehicle. But in terms of courier, it's certifications. All you gotta do is sign up for certain things like HIPAA, bloodborne pathogen, the chemotherapy training, and you can get those certifications done within a day, right? So once you have your certification and you have your vehicle, you can go ahead and sign up with companies to become an independent contractor. And even if you're working under a company, that's great. That's a great experience to have because you can learn how to run that business and go off on your own. So courier service, y'all, don't sleep on it. I'm definitely looking into it. Now the last one on here, a lot of people might be like, huh? But honestly, y'all, when I looked it up, firefighter. Firefighter. Now, when you think of certain jobs, right? They're all kind of connected in terms of who goes after it. When I do trucking, or when I just started trucking, most of the people that I met, they were either in the Marines, the Army, Navy, so they have that background, or they used to do firefighting. Like everything pretty much adds up. So if you probably go right now, police department, certain jobs, you tend to find that it's certain people who have a certain background that you find in those positions. So firefighters is actually one of those jobs, y'all. Like, not saying that's gonna be the only requirement, but again, a lot of fire departments, right? They look for drivers. They need drivers to handle special equipment, special heavy vehicle, things like that. And they will focus on the fact that you are a CDL driver or coming from a tractor trailer background. That's going to stand out to them. Now, when I looked into it, basically it requires additional training. Clearly, you're going to need additional training. You're going to have to go to Fire Academy and you need certifications. But again, the CDL would be an asset to you in terms of pushing you at the front of that line if it's something you're interested in becoming a firefighter. So, the fire department usually needs drivers for fire engines and other large vehicles, ladder trucks. We can focus on ladder trucks. My experience, tanker, clearly, I have to go up to that dome back and forth to open and close it, make sure it's properly vented. So that's already something I can say. I'm not scared of going on a ladder, right? I'm not really scared of heights in terms of that. So I got the experience to prove it. So ladder trucks and other specialized vehicles. Now, clearly, you're going to need EMT training. And it's funny that they're bringing up EMT training because that is one of the careers or jobs on my list. So EMT training, CPR, emergency care, as well as attending fire academy, which is extremely physical. Clearly, if you're trying to become a firefighter, you have to be fit, you have to be ready, and you have to go through a lot of testing just to make sure everything is pretty much good with you, which is something that we're used to in terms of being a truck driver, right? We're used to every time we have to go to a new company, we have to go through our physical exams, do background checks, we have to do drug screening. So it's the same process. You have to get cleared to work in these particular jobs, but we're used to it, right? So it's nothing new. Even if you're in CDL school, sometimes they'll do random drug tests. I had a random drug test. I had a random drug test in CDL school, and we're not even going to get into what happened with that. I pretty much saw how you can get messed up and thrown into a SAP program and you didn't do anything just by something coming back inconclusive. And they're never going to say, oh, the medical lab messed up. It's going to be them looking at you, right? But everything went well and I was able to get my license. But even in CDL school, you have to go through your testing to make sure you're clean. So we're used to that lifestyle already. So that's nothing new for us. Now, for earning potential, it's between 45 to 70,000 depending on location and experience. I'm pretty sure in certain places like California, the pay scale may be better because we know that Cali is pretty much prone to fires, wildfires, and things of that nature. So that was pretty much 5 jobs that I just listed. So we had movers. Let's just make sure we had our movers. We had waste management, bus driver, courier, and firefighter, y'all. So I'm not trying to draw out the video to do everything all at once, but I wanted to make sure that I did a follow-up video for y'all just to give you more information of these particular jobs that I listed. And if you want a reference, I'm gonna add the video right up here so you can click on it if you prefer to just see where this whole story started from, where I listed the 15 jobs. And then if you gotta come back, you can come back to this video, right? Just to stay connected. But here's the 5 jobs that I mentioned. And I just want to make sure that I do my due diligence and make sure that I provide detailed information. Now, if you have anything additional to add to this video, whatever information I provided, if you gotta correct me on something, feel free to do so and drop that in the comment. I like when we have a discussion, so that would be very helpful for myself to learn something new or correct something that I may have said wrong, or for our viewer or anyone that needs information to get that. So join me in the comments, we can talk more about it, but I wanted to do this video because it's something I'm personally going through right now, right? In terms of, yes, that termination pretty much lit a fire under my hoo-ha because I'm trying not to curse, right? It lit a fire under me, but also at the same time, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, it kind of broke down my confidence in terms of how I can move forward with my trucking career. Normally for me, I'm not used to getting terminated. It's not something that I go through. Like my last job, I was with them for 4 years, right? Before I started trucking. And then since I started trucking, I've had this company and that company. So I'm pretty much in the mindset right now that I want to see what else is out there because right now I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to move forward. Sometimes I'm also trucking and to be honest, y'all, I feel like the money, the risk and the rewards, they don't match, right? So right now I'm in a position where I'm trying to see how I can move forward, and if I have to come back to the trucking side, then at least I know I have something else to possibly fall back on. But transparency, y'all, right now I'm just doing my research and trying to figure out my next move. I am very unsure of trucking right now. I know there's a lot of people that's gonna say, oh, it's just me. Yeah, that's my experience, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other truck drivers who feel the same way I do, and I'm just okay with being honest about it, right? So I'm not going to talk y'all to death. As usual, I want to thank you so much for watching my video. I hope someone find this video helpful. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one, y'all, with the additional 5 jobs that you can get into with your CDL license. Signing out. See y'all later.